Good afternoon to all of you to this press conference on the occasion of the annual meeting of the ESM. Our Board of Governors convene once a year in Luxembourg in the ESM office, and this happened today for the 6th time. Mario Centeno chaired the meeting in his capacity as chairman of the Board of Governors. And as you know, the Board of Governors consists of the 19 Euro area finance ministers who later this afternoon will change their hat and then form the Eurogroup. And on that we will meet again later. But let me say a few words about the Board of Governors meeting. This morning I presented the annual report of the ESM, which of course includes our financial accounts. The ministers approved these accounts, and that is the primary formal goal of the meeting. But we also discussed the main activities of the ESM last year, and we looked at 3 topics: financial activities of the ESM last year, the institutional developments, and more broadly the work of the ESM. On the financial side, the EFSF and ESM together raised 60.5 billion euro in bonds last year, and that was the second largest issuance year for us ever. We are now the largest issuer of euro-denominated debt among comparable institutions like the EIB or the German KfW. The ESM made a small profit of 68 million euro, and the Board of Governors decided to add this profit to the reserve fund, which now stands at 2.1 billion euro, and that is a solid buffer if we ever were to run into problems, ever make a loss on our capital, which is not to be excluded in this low interest rate environment, as I already mentioned a year ago. A brief word about the ESM as an institution. We are still small compared to other institutions in Europe, public sector institutions, with a staff of 175 people. And that's only a very small increase from last year. Our employees come from 43 different countries, so we recruit globally, and we are very diverse. But we also realize that we have to do better on the gender balance, and we have started some initiatives on that. The ESM has been widening its expertise over the last 6 years. In the beginning, our role was mainly to mobilize and to disperse cash. By now, we have developed into an institution with a wider know-how, both in macroeconomics and in financial intelligence. One example is the work we do on debt sustainability. We have been leading the debate, for instance, by pointing out that gross financing needs are the critical measure of a country's debt sustainability and not just the debt to GDP ratio. Each year we calculate the budget savings for all beneficiary member states from the favorable conditions of our program loans compared to what the countries would need to pay in the markets. For Greece, these savings last year were 12 billion euro, more than 6% of Greek GDP. So that is obviously a very substantial number, and this is repeated every year. You find these numbers, like the others I mentioned, in our annual report. The implementation of the short-term Greek debt measures meant also new and complex activities on the financial side of the ESM, such as entering into swap arrangements and a very large bond exchange of almost 30 billion euro. The short-term debt measures will make a meaningful difference for Greece's debt burden. They will reduce the debt to GDP ratio by about 25 percentage points by 2060, and the gross financing needs to GDP ratio by around 6 percentage points. We also have accumulated a very large database that shows who owns our bonds, the EFSF ESM bonds. It stores more than 200,000 trades. That way, we can look very closely at trading patterns and better understand investors. That's what I meant by financial intelligence. Finally, obviously, the ESM takes part in the debate on deepening the monetary union. I contribute to the discussion in the Eurogroup, of course. We do it in the technical bodies that prepare the Eurogroup, but also there are talks in the European Parliament and in several national parliaments. And as the ESM, in our frequent contacts with markets, talking with investors, we also have to explain the situation in the Eurogroup and the prospects for further developments. Developing or strengthening the ESM, for me, is not a goal in itself. But if we can contribute even more to making monetary union more robust, then we are happy to do so. To sum it up, at the ESM, we have gained a lot of experience and we are ready for the future. When the Greek program ends, we will have no active programs for the first time since the ESM was created. But I don't think it will become quiet. Our market activities will continue, as will the debate about developing the role of the ESM. Thank you.